believed in Bible quizzing more than he did. And he proved this by his involvement in quizzing for 4 decades. My dad had many roles and responsibilities in his 60 years of living, but none, in my opinion, suited him better than that of coach. He believed in Bible quizzing, not only because of what it does for young people, but because of what it does in young people. And I stand before you tonight as a blessed woman because my dad invested in me through Bible quizzing. I never had to wonder if he believed in me. He saw quizzing as an opportunity to invest in me and God's purpose for my life. I have always been so proud of the fact that Norman R. Paslay II was my dad. Because my dad wasn't just my quiz coach, he was my life coach. Through the euphoria of victory and the agony of defeat, my dad's vision for quizzers was beyond just that moment. He said to me many times, "Quizzing is the ultimate discipleship venue. I'm not just coaching young people, I'm making disciples." Quizzing is not limited to 20 questions a game. It isn't just a game, and it's not a hobby. It isn't just your extracurricular activity. Bible quizzing is not a program or an extension of your youth group. It is a ministry that is equipping you for life and Christian service in a way that nothing else can. Coaches, I want to close by saying something to you. I have such deep respect for you because you make this ministry happen in the local church. And it is no small task. There will always be good reasons for you not to be involved. But you are working in partnership with God when you spend time training these young people. One of my favorite lessons my dad taught was called, "What's in the Basket?" The Bible makes us to know that for the sake of Paul's safety, members of the early church had to help him escape. And Dad emphasized the fact in his lesson that those disciples didn't know that half of the New Testament was being let down in a basket. And they could not have known the potential or the purpose they secured for God's kingdom and his church when they helped the man who had been sown down the city wall that night. And so it is when we coach. We do not know who we are coaching. We have no idea God's purpose or call on their lives. But each time you have practice, every time you pick up a quizzer for a trip or listen to a chapter that's in rough shape and needs to play 50-card pickup, you are letting that quizzer down in a basket. You are facilitating the fusion of God's word that is able to transform them from what they are presently to what God has created them to be. And so keep cleaning out that church van, coach, after a long trip. Find a way to help that quizzer with a troubled family stay involved in this ministry. Do what you can for the young people God's entrusted to you to coach, because you aren't just coaching quizzers. According to my dad, the greatest quiz coach that ever lived, you are training leaders and you are making disciples.